I approached the hottest and the most exotic girl at my gym, and here's what it taught me about closing deals with motivated sellers in real estate. So stay with me because I'm going to circle around, okay? So I went to the gym and I saw one of the most beautiful girls I ever seen in my life at the gym. And here's the reason why I said she was so beautiful, is because almost every day, 1 to 3 different men would come up to her and cold approach her every freaking day. And I was like, wow, she is really, really beautiful. Now, here's my situation. I'm 48 years old. I've been in two major separations. And I thought to myself, I'm never going to find a traditional woman ever again. And this girl was the Indian girl, so I presumed that she had probably had traditional values, especially after I observed her, all these men hitting on her, okay? And I'll get into that in a little bit, okay? So my situation is, I'm 48 years old, I've gone through 2 major separations, and I thought to myself that I'm never gonna find a traditional woman, and I'm just gonna be an isolated guy. I love spending time with myself, reading, meditating, hiking, riding bikes, so I'm okay with just being with myself the rest of my life. I don't want a hot girl. I'm not interested in these, hoochie mamas or any of that other stuff. I'm only want to accept a traditional woman, okay? And boom, I went to the gym and I saw the most beautiful, exotic, traditional woman out there. Man, and she was extremely hot, beautiful, long hair, no tattoos, like a real woman, ladies and gentlemen, a real woman with abs and everything about it, okay? But my problem was that I literally didn't know how to talk to women, I've only had three major relationships, and all these 3 relationships, the women have chased me. I've never chased a woman in my whole life. And I realized that with this girl, she's not gonna chase me because everyone's chasing her. Like, I quickly realized, like, after 3 weeks of going to the gym and seeing her, like, hey, she's not gonna chase me, right? And I tried my moves, but I knew she wasn't gonna chase me. I had to chase her. But the problem was that I didn't know how to chase a girl because I never chased a girl. Some of you guys say, Mike, well, how is it that you never chased a girl? Well, when I was in 6th grade, I started working out. I've been 6 foot. So in high school, the girls chased me. Then I had financial success. I dressed up in suits. I was pushing a $100,000 car. I had multiple businesses, multiple rental properties, and the women were chasing me. And this is high quality women like doctors, physician's assistants, chiropractors. And these are the women that were in my inboxes or in my family gathering that were trying to hook up with me that had very, very low body count. I can tell you this one girl, she's a physical assistant, okay? She probably had slept with 0 to 1 guy. She was Baha'i and she was interested in me, right? So I had all these types of women like inboxing me, from real estate to family reunions to Facebook, because I had success, I was physically fit, I dressed every day up in suits, and guess what? I worked on myself, therefore women were chasing me. But now I'm 48 years old. I don't want any woman that chases me. I don't even want any woman to chase me. And I didn't even know I had to chase women. So I saw this girl and I realized that, hey, she's not gonna chase me. So I went on YouTube and I literally typed it in, are men supposed to chase women? Because in my whole life, I've never chased a woman before. And guess what? The answer was yes. Everyone said men has to chase women. I said, okay, so I have to now go chase her. But I was like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do, dude, because I'm like so nervous, man. This girl is so attractive, so beautiful. And like literally all these hunk guys are like chasing her down every day, right? So now that you know my situation, I didn't have the self-confidence. I didn't know what to say. I was shy. I've been in a situation where women are always chasing me. And now I see this woman that I'm like, man, I have to go do something, but I don't know what to do. So I basically Googled it up and, learned that, hey, I need to be a social individual, that I need to cold approach these girls, and so on and so on. But before I get into what I did to go cold approach her and how that relates to buying homes for motivated sellers and closing deals, I want to explain to you why I was really attracted to this girl. The very first thing is that I noticed is that almost every day when all these guys approach her, she always has her distance. She's not like really close. When the guys try to get close to her, she's like sticks way further back. And that's a really good sign because she doesn't want people in her bubble. The other thing I noticed is she literally rejects every guy that goes up to her. And because I can see from their face, they're like, oh man, and I'll get into that because I was in that situation myself. So those were very good things because she's not really close with these people. She actually steps back from literally every guy that approaches her, right? And seems from, I'm not there listening, but from working out and just, keeping an eye on her, when guys approach her, I'm seeing that they're all getting rejected. So I'm like, okay, that's a good sign, because normally if I see a girl that's getting hit on by a bunch of men, I don't fuck with it. Just like a home seller. If I have a home seller and there's like 10 different investors going after that deal, I don't want to mess with that. It's too much work for me, dude. I don't want to work with that. I can find a home seller that's highly motivated, they're willing to just give me the deal, and they're ready, that are happy that I'm here. So I was in that, line of thinking till I saw her rejecting everyone. So I said, okay, that's good that she's rejecting everyone, because I don't want to compete with 100 different men constantly with her. So I was like, that's good that she has these boundaries. She's rejecting people, at least what it appeared for me, right? So anyways, the other thing I really liked about her is she seemed like a real woman, like no tattoos. She's not one of those dykes or, bisexuals or none of that stuff, dude. She's like a real woman and real feminine, and you can just tell, dude, just the vibe, the energy, okay? Now, the other thing that I really, this is the thing that really attracted me to her, was what I call a champion heart. On my yesterday's video, I called it, I've never seen that in people besides in men, because usually I've only trained champions that are men. And so I said men, she's kind of like this quality of a man. But no, this is a champion heart. She has this, what I call a champion heart. What is a champion heart? Well, for example, she works out harder than 80%, I would even say 90% of people in my gym. The men. This girl works harder, not because she lifts more weight, because when she gets tired, she keeps pushing, she just keeps pushing. Most people at the gym are lifting resistance training or not sweating, okay? Very few people. Myself, I'm sweating because I'm going very fast. I'm not there just, socialize and just talk a little bit and do a little weights and listen to my music. No, I'm here to fucking work out. I'm here to fucking sweat. If I'm not sweating, there's something wrong. And I recognized that in her, because she was the same exact way. And I thought to myself, man, she's real feminine and she's like a champion heart. And that really made me attracted to that, because guys, I've been in the gym industry since 6th grade. I've opened gyms. I've trained hot mamas. I've seen, if you've ever been in the fitness industry, you'll see the hottest women, like literally models, like everyone. The hottest women are in the gym. So it's not like I was a thirsty guy that never seen a hot girl before. Like, like women chase me. So I wasn't thirsty at all. It wasn't like that at all. It was something about her, like Dr. Dwayne Wyatt said, she inspired me, and her ability to keep pushing, right? That inspired me. So when you're, as Dr. Dwayne Wyatt says, when you're inspired by someone, that means you're in spirit. And I was like in spirit by watching her work out, because she inspired me to go work out harder myself. And I was like, man, I want to be around that, because that's that positive energy, right? So anyways, now let's go into how I cold approached her, right? I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. Again, ladies and gentlemen, like I never cold approached any girl in my life before. I always worked on myself physically. I worked on my financial, and I would have women approach me, and then I get to choose which one that I wanted. And there was all kinds. I had stuff from like high quality women to low quality trash, right? And everything between, right? But now I'm 48 years old. I've seen this girl, and I'm like, man, dude, this is in spirit, like I never seen someone that I don't even know, and they motivate you because of the way they work, their ethics, right? So I'm like, all right, I need to cold approach her. So I Google it, I learn some stuff, and the first time I go up to her, I see her. I don't want to be a thirsty dude. I surely don't want to ask for a phone number, because that's what all the other guys do, and they all get rejected, right? So I see her, and I'm leaving the gym, and she's coming right behind me. I figure, man, I open the door for her, and she says, thank you. And I said, hey, are you Indian with a dot, or are you Persian? And she says, no, I'm Indian. And she says, what about you? I said, oh, I'm Persian. And I said, oh, I gotta get going, because I wanted to cut it short. I didn't want to seem like I'm a real thirsty guy, right? So I just, cut it short. I said, well, nice meeting you. See you later. So I go to the gym the next day. I don't talk to her. Next time I don't talk to her. Next time I don't talk to her. Maybe like a week later, I see her again, and she's going this way, and I'm going this way. As we're crossing, I see her eyes. I take my headset off, and she takes her headset off, and I say, hey, can I borrow some muscle from you, right? And I just like crack her up. She starts cracking up, and I'm thinking to myself, man, I'm not a funny guy at all. So she must be interested in me, because this the first time I asked her a question, she reciprocated. She asked me, where are you from, right? The second time, I just said, hey, can I borrow some muscle? I didn't think that was funny at all, but apparently I cracked her up. And, I asked her and I keep moving like, I'm not thirsty. I don't care if she responds, whatever. But I was like, man, I was starting to feel good now. I'm like, shit, this stuff is starting to work, dude. Like, those guys from YouTube were kind of correct, right? So it kind of builds my self-confidence. The third time I approach her is like, I'm going every day. Like, I leave the gym, I have exact routine. I leave the gym, I hit the water fountain, and as I'm leaving the gym, I'm hitting the water fountain. Guess what? She's right there. And I'm like, holy shit, she might be interested in me, because she's like, this is like the third time that we're like leaving together or hitting the water fountain together, at least in my mind, and it could probably be not, right? So at this time, I'm like, okay, let me show her some intent, because these guys told me like, you got to show the seller, or in this case, the girl, you're interested in them, like intent. So I went up to her and I said, hey, you look really cute today. And she said, oh, I really appreciate it, right? And again, just a quick conversation, all right? And one other time I went up to her and I said, hey man, how long you been working out? And she said, well, I've been working out for quite a while. And she reciprocated. She asked me, how long have you been working out? I said, well, I've been working out since 6th grade. There was like a 7-year time period I didn't work out because I was starting my business and stuff like that. So we talked for like 2 or 3 minutes and then bounced, all right? So now I have basically contacted her 4 times, and I was not like one of those thirsty guys, right? I was like, oh, can I get your number, please? Oh, come on, right? And sure enough, dude, I was hella scared, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I was hella scared. I have no experience doing that. Just like when I talked to home sellers back in 2006, 4th quarter, when the real estate market crashed, I didn't know how to talk to any sellers. I'm a refugee to America. My mom is cuts hair. My dad sold ice cream in an ice cream truck. So I got into real estate. The first seller I talked to and I got the deal, my heart was beating as hard as this girl's when I talked to her. It was like boom, boom. I was like shitting bricks, bro. So there's a lot of similarity with talking to 10s and getting real estate deals, right? So now I'm gonna keep going a little bit further with this example, right? So the next time I see this girl, I go up to her and she's passing me again, right? I took off my earplugs and drum roll. And this is where it gets really intense. This is where I shoot my shot, right? This is after 4 interactions. The 5th interaction, I'm gonna shoot my shot. I feel somewhat confident that, this girl's been reciprocal. It wasn't one of those things where I was just like harassing her and she's like, stay away from me. And she wasn't nothing like that. She was reciprocal. She was asking me questions. I cracked her up and I'm like, man, I have a decent shot of like, I'm not at this point asking for a number. I'm gonna ask if she wants to work out with me, right? So as I walk across and we pass and we see each other's eyes, I take off my headset and she takes off her headset and I say, hey, I noticed that you do legs on Monday. I do legs on Monday too. Do you want to train legs with me? And she says, Mike, you're literally gonna kill me, dude. I'm not that strong to work out with you, right? Basically, she's rejecting me, right? In a very nice, polite way. God bless her. In a real nice, polite way, right? And I'm like shattered. I'm like, because I'm thinking in my head, this is going forward because she's reciprocating. I think she's somewhat interested in me. I'm definitely interested in her. I'm learning how to improve myself, whatever. Because I want something, and just like any man, if you want something, you have to do changes to get it, right? If I want to be a real estate investor, I had to learn how to talk to sellers, how to structure a deal. I had to make changes in myself. If I wanted to be a bodybuilder, I had to make changes in myself, what I ate, etc. Same with, if I see something, I don't have the skills, I have to be honest with myself. Say, look, I don't have these skills, bro. Okay, a lot of you guys are not honest with yourself, right? I am truly honest with them like that. I don't know how to talk to these girls. I'm shy, I'm embarrassed. I don't know what to do, dude. Now, all the time, I had a different game plan when women chase me, but this time I see what I want, and I have to go get it, right? So anyways, I say, hey, you want to work out? And she's like, politely rejects me. She's like, Mike, I'm not gonna be able to keep up with you. I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. And I'm like one of those guys, like, oh, like I'm feeling my heart, like, oh, right? And like I'm like literally like kind of like begging her, like, hey, do you want to come work out with me? Because she's so high, right? But I shouldn't have done it that way, right? Like after like going home and replaying the video, like I wrestled. And one thing we always did after each match, after each duel, is run the tape, bro. Run the tape and learn where our mistakes was. Same thing with real estate. When I talked to a seller, I didn't get the deal. I would always run the tape and see where did I make a mistake at, right? So I ran the tape in my mind, and I realized that when I approached this girl and I went for my shot, it was just like nothing like I did with motivated sellers. When I talk to a motivated seller, I'm not like, would you please sell me your home for 50 cents on the dollar? Would you please let me take over your mortgage payment? Would you please, I'm so motivated. No, I never do any of that stuff. For example, when a motivated seller calls me and I want to buy their home, one of the questions that I ask them is, if I can do this, would that work for you? For example, if the seller calls me, I'll say, hey, Mr. Seller, if my cash offer works for you and for me, when would you like to move out? See, this lets them know that I'm not highly motivated, right? It has to work for them and it has to also work for me. For example, let me say it one more time. If my cash offer works for you and for me, when would you like to move out? I'm letting them already know that if it has to work for me too. I'm not just gonna give them top dollars because it's not gonna work for me, right? So I'm letting them know. Another example is like disqualifying the seller is, for example, when they call me and I'm talking to them, I'm trying to structure a subject to, I'm trying to structure a seller financing, I may ask them something like this. Hey, Mr. Seller, if I can make your monthly payments for you and keep making them until I cash out the loan, would that work for you? Or something like this. Hey, Mr. Seller, if I can keep making your monthly payments for you to resell this house, would that work for you? And simply put, I'm asking them if I can just jump into their shoes and take over their mortgage. I'm creating an owner financing. I'm creating seller financing. I am asking that, I'm not saying, can I please take over your mortgage payment? Please, I really need to take over your mortgage. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, if I can make your monthly payments, this is your payments. I'm gonna have to make it for you. You see the difference? I'm not saying, I would love to make your monthly payments for you, Mr. Seller. I'd love to make it for you. No, I'm not doing that, right? I'm saying like, if I can make your monthly payments, I have to use my own money to make your fucking debt payments, bro. You want me to do that for you? If I can do that, would that work for you? So I should have used the same exact strategy with the seller when I approached her, or with the girl when I approached her at the gym. Instead of saying, oh, I noticed you work out on Mondays, and I find you so attractive. Can I work out with you? Right? And she basically pushed me away. She was like, well, Mike, I'm not sure if I can hang out with you. And my next thing was, well, we don't have to work very heavy weights. We can do light weights, just like chasing her, right? I shouldn't have done it that way. What I should have done is like this. We were walking by, I take off my headset, she takes off her headset, just like I do with a seller, right? When I want to buy their home at a deep discount or seller financing, I should have done the same exact way. We walk by, I take off my headset, and I should have said something like this. Hey, I noticed that you do legs on Monday. I would invite you to work out with me, but I don't think you're going to be able to keep up. See, now I'm pushing her away, right? And now if she was really interested, she would be doing what I was doing in her situation, like, no, Mike, I can really work out with you, bro. I can really work out with you. I'm strong, dude. I got a heart of a champion. See, I should have rephrased it the other way, right? Where she rephrased it, where I would have to now chase her. Like, no, come on, we can work out together. I'm not gonna kill you, dude. I'm not gonna put a whole lot of weight. See, I had to chase her, and that was totally wrong, right? This is one area where I showed inferiority. I wasn't confident. I didn't know what I was doing. And now, if I had pitched 20 different women in that day, then I would have got better, but I didn't, right? I was just my first shot, and I didn't do it, right? Not because I'm a bad guy. I have a tremendous amount of sales negotiation experience from real estate, buying cars at 22% off MSRP when brand new. I mean, so many different stuff, guys. I can tell you, I bought a BMW Superbike. The price was $22,000. I paid $15,000 for it cash and got it, right? Who else negotiates like that? So I have significant negotiation skills, but I wasn't able to connect the dot from one real estate to the girls, right? So when I approached that girl, I said, hey, do you want to work out with me on legs on Monday? She basically pushed me away, and I was like, oh, please, I'll drop the weight for you. I shouldn't have done it like that. The way I should have done it is two different ways. One is I should have said, hey, I noticed you work out legs on Monday. I would invite you to work out with me, but I really don't think you can hang with me, right? That way, I'm like, let me know I like to work out with her. I have some intent, but then I'm also teasing her. I'm kind of like pushing her away. That was a better approach. Now, another better approach was like this. I would say, hey, I noticed you work out on Mondays. I work out on Mondays too, and I know you have some trouble spots. I can help you resolve that. See, that would have been like a total diss on her. And now she's gonna have to like, she realized, every person knows what the trouble spots is, right? Like this girl has some trouble spots, right? In her legs. And this is the reason I brought her up to, because I thought I could resolve those. I wanted to add value. I could help her with those trouble spots, right? But instead of saying that, I was like so nice, like, hey, Mr. Nice, you wanna work out with me, right? No, I should have been like straight up, look, I noticed you work out on Mondays. You have some trouble spots and I can help you work those out. See, that is like more of the way I negotiate with a seller, right? I'm not like, hey, please give me your deal, please. I'm like, hey, I don't give a shit if I do the deal. I don't give a shit. I got 50 other sellers wanting to buy their home. I have a limited amount of money, right? And that's the truth, dude. If you got $100 million, there's only so many houses you can buy. If you have $100 million, there's only, if you have $1 million, so the story is true. Whatever money you have is a limited amount. You can't buy everyone's fucking deal. So when I approached that girl, I should have been have the same mindset as I do with real estate investing. That's why I get these great deals, right? From cars to motorcycles to ATVs to real estate, because I know how to negotiate. I know how to understand the psychological aspects of a male and a female, but I didn't connect the dot when it came to my own personal relationship. And this is why I make this video, and this is what it taught me. So number one is that I was way too fucking motivated with this girl. Like, oh, please come work out with me. I shouldn't have done that. I should have used the push tactic. Well, I don't know if I could work out with you, but if I could, would that work for you? That would have been a better tactic, right? The other thing was that I should have been like, I don't give a fuck. But I wasn't. I was like, oh, I really want to work with this girl because I opened gyms and I've seen all these hot girls, but she's like something a little different in my perception. I mean, I could be totally wrong, but in my perception, right? I should have been like, I don't give a shit, right? I may want to do this deal. I may not want to do this deal. I got so many other deals. I think if I had took that approach, I would have been working out with her this Monday versus like doing these videos for you guys, because I realized that this is my mistake, right? Another mistake that I did was, let me get a little water, guys. All right, another mistake I did is I didn't warm her up. For example, when a motivated seller calls me, I'm not gonna be able to get a deal and say, look, I can buy your house, it's worth 100,000 for 40 or 50,000 in 3 minutes, in 5 minutes. It takes me 45 to 1 hour when I find a motivated seller to invest that time into them, what I call them, to warm them up, to build that relationship, to build that rapport, for them to like me, for me to like them, and etc. Okay, to convey the confidence that I have that I can do this transaction for them. So with a real estate seller, on the phone, if I'm not going to go look at the property, I'm going to buy it sight unseen. It takes me 45 to an hour to get the deal. That's the first time they call, for me asking all the questions that I have in my Ninja phone script. By the way, you can get my free Ninja phone script totally for free by going to myrealestatedojo.com and clicking on start now. So going back to the story, I didn't warm it up with that girl. I just went up to her, I took my headset like, hey, I noticed you work out on Monday. Would you please go work out with me? And she was like, no thank you. And I'm like, oh, please. See, this is where I fucked up, right? I should have warmed it up. Say, hey, how was your weekend? What you doing? Hey, I noticed you have some trouble spots. I can help you with that. I've been personal trainer since 6th grade. I've got college degree, whatever, right? I could have built my value to let her know that, hey, I have authority. I can help her with the trouble spots, which sounds like a diss, right? I was dissing her. But that's what I do with sellers when they call me. They call me and they say, well, my house is worth 100. I say, sure, okay. But by the time I sell this property, I have to pay 10% closing costs. I got to pay this. I got to pay pass inspection repair. So I bring all these buts into it, like all the negative tensions into it, for me to get the deal. I should have done the same exact thing with the girl. Like, hey, you got these trouble spots. I know you're a 10. You know you're a 10. All these other guys are letting you know you're a 10. But why should I come tell you you're a 10? Why don't I come tell you you have these problems and here's how I can fix them, right? And this was one of the major mistakes that I did. So let's re-summarize it, guys, okay? Talking to baddies at the gym has helped me realize that negotiating with motivated sellers is exactly the same as negotiating with a baddie, with a 10, with the hottest girl at the gym, okay? Number one, do not be too motivated like me, bro. Like, please, give me your house. Please give me your house. Please give it to me for $60 to $7. Please let me take over your mortgage. No, that's not gonna work. Like, never tell a seller, can I take over your house payments? Never. Can I take over your mortgage payments? Never. Dude, it sounds like they're doing you a favor, right? It sounds much better like, if I could make your monthly debt payments, right? Mortgage is like so happy, like, oh, I'm gonna get a mortgage. Debt sounds like, oh man, I got fucking debt. Someone has to make the payments for me. So word choices is very, very important, right? So word choice is very important. Don't be too motivated. And number 3, don't give a damn, bro, from the outcome. Like, I should not give a shit if this girl wanted to work out with me. And literally, there's like 3 other girls at the gym that are highly into me. They're giving me all the clues and the signs that, hey, I can hit them up, right? Like literally, like hotties, baddies, man. But I'm not attracted to them. Why? There's a lot of girls out there, right? You have girls that are like bisexuals. You have girls that do threesomes. You have girls that have high body counts. You have girls that are like the girl that I told you that's a physician assistant. She probably has a body count of 0 or 1. Right? So you have a variety of different girls out there. I don't want those girls that have those high body counts. I don't want those girls that are bisexuals. I don't want those girls that threesomes and trisomes, whatever the fuck they want to do. God bless them. I'm not judging them. But that's not what the fuck that I want. So even though there's a sea of other motivated sellers or a sea of other girls out there that want me, right? At that exact gym, like I could literally talk to these girls. Like they're coming next to me. They're approaching me, right? And how do I know? I'm the master of having sellers chase me versus me chasing sellers. And same with women, right? All through my life, I had women chase me. I never even knew I had to chase women because I always improved on myself, my physical appearance, my financial, my education, whatever. I worked on myself and that attracted women. So if you're also interested in having sellers chase you, or you don't know how to do these deals, you've been following me since 2013, you want to buy a house at a deep discount, you want to get these motivated sellers to give you seller financing so you don't have to use your own credit, you don't have to get into debt, or if you just want to level up, you want to do instead of just 2 deals a month, you want to do 10 deals a month consistently, then let's join me in my Let's Do a Deal coaching program where I'll hold your hand, I'll show you how to do deals in your backyard totally for free. As a refugee to America, I learned how to do marketing with 0 creativity. And that's what I'm gonna let you do. I'm gonna give you my Flipping Wednesdays, which teaches you how to find deals totally free in your backyard. And before you know it, you're gonna have deals without spending $1. Let's do deals together. I'm your guy. Peace.